Hey everyone, it's John Negroni from John in Theory, film editor for theyoungfolks.com, host of Cinemaholics. I'm doing something very different today because I just watched The Lost Daughter, the new Netflix film, and I don't really have as much time to do a full-on recording and everything. Normally when I do these reviews, I try to write some things out, be like, okay, here's my bullet point list of what I want to cover, but I'm not doing that because I'm very low on time. Some personal things happen, so instead I'm going to be doing a bit more of an off-the-cuff sort of review, so I hope you can bear with me because I do really want to talk about The Lost Daughter. Now, this is a new Netflix film. It's directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal, and The Lost Daughter is interesting because, first of all, I believe this is Maggie Gyllenhaal's first film directing. Let me fact check that. Okay, yes, fact check complete. This is why I usually prepare for these sorts of things. This is her first time directing, and it's a big film for her. It's going to be coming to Netflix on December 31st, I want to say, and it is in limited release right now, so I wanted to get ahead of the game here and talk about this movie because it is a very interesting one in a lot of key ways, particularly in the lead performances. This movie mainly follows a woman in her 40s played by Olivia Colman. Olivia Colman, of course, coming off of a lot of award success with movies like The Favorite and last year The Father, which got Anthony Hopkins, of course, his Best Actor nomination and win for that film. Olivia Colman, of course, was a supporting actress in that movie, and The Lost Daughter is very much her at the helm. This is her really probably in one of her biggest roles since The Favorite, and it's kind of funny actually too because as I was watching this movie, I was thinking a lot of the BBC series. I think it was BBC, and it was a British series, Fleabag, with Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and that film, of course, Olivia Colman is not a star in it. She's one of the side characters. She plays the stepmother to the main character, Fleabag, and it's kind of interesting because The Lost Daughter in a lot of ways reminded me of Fleabag, reminded me of that main character because brought down to basics, The Lost Daughter is about a certain type of woman, and it's about a very taboo topic that Maggie Gyllenhaal is diving into. We're following Olivia Colman as this woman, like I said, in her 40s. She's a professor, she's an intellectual, and she's on a holiday. And at first, we're kind of wondering, okay, why is this person on a vacation by themselves? But as we get to know her, we learn pretty quickly why she is on this holiday by herself. And it's because even though she has the veneer of being a polite person, mostly agreeable, she's a very selfish person, very self-centered and self-oriented. And this is a movie sort of exploring and humanizing that kind of person in actually some profound ways, I thought. Now, we meet her character in a very difficult time of her life because it is post a portion of her time as a mother that she is kind of still wrestling with mentally. And the film cuts back in time a lot to her as a younger woman played by Jessie Buckley. We learn pretty early on that she had kids when she was very young, 2 young girls, and that's when you start to see, okay, this is a film about daughters, about motherhood, and the limits of motherhood, and where motherhood doesn't really end. There's a reason why, as I was watching this, I was thinking women of a certain age, because at one point in the movie, we get to see her engage quite a bit with Dakota Johnson, one of the other leads in this film. Dakota Johnson, she sees on the beach while she's on this holiday, and she instantly starts comparing herself to her. Her daughter is a young little girl who kind of gets lost and is a bit of a handful. And not being a parent myself, I think that this is an interesting movie just in the sense that it will make you maybe question if you want to have kids. Maybe some people, not for me. I've always known that I want to have children, and this is not a movie that at all sort of prevents me from being excited about that prospect whenever that day comes. But I could just see, because I know a lot of people in my life who are very hesitant and on the fence about doing something like that, and movies like this sort of get to the heart why I think that can be a persistent uncertainty. It can be something that causes anxiety for people who aren't sure if they would make a good parent. And this is a movie in an empathetic way explores the really unconventional behavior of people who are deemed as selfish by society, but maybe there's something else going on there. This is a very layered film, and I understand it's going to rub some people off the wrong way, but I think that if you go into it really just sort of managing your expectations for a psychological drama that's going to touch on a touchy topic, then I think that you'll get a lot out of it. We also have really great side performances here as well. We have, of course, Paul Mescal, I want to say is his name, from Normal People, has a nice little role here. Ed Harris comes into the film pretty early on, and Ed Harris, we don't see him enough in my opinion, and he gets a lot to do in this movie, more so than Mescal, unfortunately. But everyone in here in this movie is really working on a great level, and it's kind of amazing too, because I've been thinking about movies in 2021 and sort of the things that have been tying them together. I think this has been a great year for animation, for example. Another another thing, another element of film that 2021 has been very good for, in my opinion, is film scores. We've gotten really great film scores, a lot of them by Johnny Greenwood. And this film score here, I'm going to double check to make sure I get the name correct. But yes, so Dickon Hidden Schiff. This is the first time that, I don't know if, Tender Sticks. That's the band name, I think. I know some people have probably heard of this, but I believe it's like a British band to that effect. And just the music in this film is really melodic, and at the same time, it's kind of upbeat, and it reminds me of the character herself. You know, this sort of like, kind of pleasant tune, but there's something sort of somber and downbeat about it all the same. It's that kind of filmmaking that I think, you know, when you can tie those things together and do it in a very effortless way, it doesn't really come off to me like you're trying too hard. That's exciting to see in any kind of film. So those are my brief but hopefully interesting and helpful thoughts on The Lost Daughter. If you were considering checking it out, I think it's a really strong debut feature for Maggie Gyllenhaal. The year just in total has been a good year for debut filmmakers. Maggie Gyllenhaal, of course, being a wonderful actress, and we see her acting still. I don't think her acting career is going to end anytime soon, unless there's something going on that I just don't know about. Maybe she quit acting and I just don't know about that. But anytime I see her in a film, I definitely get the sense that she is a very talented artist, and it's just nice to see that her talent stretches to behind the camera as well. I believe she's produced films before, and it's one of those things where I'm not surprised that she's directing a film. She's always been a very thoughtful talent, just in general. So I think that this is hopefully the start of a great transition for her. So as I mentioned before, The Lost Daughter, it's playing in limited release right now. I don't know how limited. It could just be New York and LA. It could be limited theaters elsewhere. I actually don't know that, but I know that it's going to be coming to Netflix. If you can't wait, or if you want to wait rather, then you can. And it's going to be coming out on Netflix, I believe, on the 31st. So that is The Lost Daughter. Hope you check it out and like it as much as I did. I won't say that I loved the film, but I certainly enjoyed my experience and my time with it. It was a nice time, even though it was tricky to sort of get through it, considering just the briar patches of pain that you're going to experience. Not to say that it's a film that I think is going to destroy you, on an emotional level, but maybe some people it can, because it does press upon some subject matter that I, of course, don't resonate with very directly, considering I am a man, and I am not, I'm a cisgendered man. I'm not somebody who will get pregnant and have children, so I don't really know what that experience could be like. So just a little fair warning there that might be something that could maybe, I don't want to say if it would trigger you or if it would cause some anxiety for you while watching the film. Maybe that's something you're even seeking out, some catharsis. Whatever the case, I hope that you have a decent time with The Lost Daughter. It's going to be available pretty soon, and it's not a very long movie. I believe it's about 2 hours and 4 minutes, so kind of long for a drama, but certainly easy to get through. I did not have a hard time finishing the film, if that makes any sense. Hopefully going to be talking about some more films coming up in the next week. Going to be talking about Tender Bar, going to be talking about Matrix Resurrections, which I need to hurry up and do. We just have embargo, which is why I haven't reviewed the film here yet, but I will be getting to that as soon as I can. But thank you as always for watching and subscribing and do all that fun stuff that you do, and I'll see you all in the next one.